Right now, the skies over India are basically a battleground. We've got these powerful storm systems churning in two different seas. And their clash? Well, it's about to kick off one of the biggest seasonal shifts of the entire year, the end of one monsoon and the start of another. So let's break down what's happening. So here's the headline. We've got active storm systems, these things called deep depressions, in both the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Seas simultaneously. Now that's a pretty rare and dynamic setup, and it holds the key to the weather forecast for, well, pretty much the entire subcontinent over the next few weeks.
Okay, let's dive into this. To really get what's going on, we need to meet the three major weather systems that are all interacting right now. You can think of them as the three main characters in this big atmospheric story.
First up, our first player. This is a deep depression that's hanging out in the Bay of Bengal. This system got strong really fast, and it's now heading right for the Odisha coast. It's packing some decent winds, around 40 to 45 km/h, and we're expecting it to make landfall near Gopalpur.
And then at the exact same time, all the way over on the other side of the peninsula, we've got player number 2. This is another deep depression that popped up near Gujarat, and it's currently doing its thing out in the Arabian Sea, moving westward.
And here's our third player, and honestly, this one's the real game changer. It's something called a western disturbance. Basically, it's a storm system that comes all the way from the Mediterranean region and moves east. What's important here is that it's not a monsoonal system, and it's on a direct collision course with the other two over North India.
So we've got our 3 players on the board. Now, what happens when they all collide? And this isn't just some random mashup. There's a very specific sequence of events that's about to completely redraw the weather map.
So here's the play-by-play for the next 3 days. First, the western disturbance starts rolling into North India from the west. Its first move, it's going to disrupt and weaken that Arabian Sea system. Then, just as the Bay of Bengal system moves inland, the western disturbance acts like a giant wall and just neutralizes it. The end result, in about 3 days, both of these powerful storms will be completely gone. Poof!
So, with these big storms totally wiped off the map, what happens next? Well, think of it like hitting a giant reset button on the atmosphere. And that reset is the starting gun for the great seasonal shift, the official handoff from the southwest monsoon to the northeast monsoon.
You see, clearing the stage like this allows the southwest monsoon, which has been kind of weak lately, to finally start packing its bags and leaving. This kicks off what we call the monsoon transition period, a really interesting, kind of unstable time in our weather calendar.
Now, what's really cool is that we have a pretty clear schedule for how this is all going to go down. The southwest monsoon will start its official withdrawal next week. Then, around October 11th and 12th, we'll start to see those easterly winds. That's a key sign of the new season, pushing toward Tamil Nadu. And then boom, by the 15th or 16th, the northeast monsoon rains are expected to officially arrive.
So what does this huge seasonal shift actually mean for the weather where you live? This whole transition has a very real, very local impact, and for some places, it's actually incredibly important.
And here's the key takeaway. While the big monsoons tend to soak the coasts, this transition period is often a real boon, which is just a fancy way of saying a blessing, for the interior districts. It brings them that crucial rainfall they might have missed out on earlier.
The kind of rain this brings is called convectional rain. The easiest way to think about it is like boiling a pot of water on the stove. The sun heats the land. That warm, moist air rises up just like steam. And as it gets higher and cools down, it forms clouds, and then you get rain, usually in the afternoon. This is going to be the main weather pattern for the next few days.
All right, let's bring this all right down to your doorstep. Here's how all this atmospheric drama translates into the forecast for the next 24 hours across the southern states.
Kicking things off with Tamil Nadu. It looks like the northern districts are getting hit with the heaviest rain, and that includes places like Chennai. Meanwhile, down south, you're looking at cloudier skies with more like light to moderate showers.
Moving over to Kerala, it's a pretty similar story. You'll want to look for moderate to heavy rain up in the northern districts and along the Ghats. For other spots along the coast, it's going to be lighter rain in just some areas.
Now, in Karnataka, the coastal and Malnad regions are really where the bulk of the rain is going to fall. For the interior areas, including Bangalore, you can expect much lighter showers.
Andhra Pradesh has a bit of a split forecast. Both the northern and southern coastal districts are on alert for moderate to heavy rain. But if you're in the central Rayalaseema region, things will be a lot calmer, mostly just cloudy with some light rain.
And finally, let's look at Telangana.
Here, the rain is really going to be focused in the western and northwestern districts. For other places, including Hyderabad, you're looking at much lighter activity, maybe some scattered showers.
So there you have it, a really complex clash of systems that's kicking off a major seasonal transition. As all these changes unfold over the next week or so, take a look outside. You're not just seeing a bit of rain, you are literally witnessing the grand annual shifting of India's skies.